One of the challenges that all agents have is, especially whenever you're converting from another system to any other system, is dealing with templates. Um, where do those templates come from? Typically, most agents will look in their old sent emails and they'll have some content or whatever that needs to be imported. One of our users had sent me a bunch of emails that had the emails that they had sent out, or samples anyway, of emails that they had sent out to some of their people. Well, of course, you can go in there and you can kind of copy and paste it, but it can be a little bit iffy on some of the things that it pastes in based off of HTML headers and stuff like that. So what I've done is I've created an import feature. So if you go into Outlook, or if you go into Google Mail, Gmail, and you edit one of the emails, there'll be an option to export it to an EML file. So if you've got an EML file of an email that you had sent to a customer about whatever, and you want to turn that into a template, obviously you can go in there and copy and paste it in there. That's one option. But what we've done is given you the opportunity of saying, okay, which section of the database do you want to put these in? So if you've exported an EML file or a TXT file technically as well, if it's a listing, or you've got several listing templates or several transaction templates or whatever, you can choose what type that you want to import this into. So in this case, let's say I've got some transaction templates that I want to import. Maybe you want to tag them whenever you're importing them. You want to tag them with something that you've done. I just created an imported option for the tags and click on save. And then you can go in here and say, well, let's select the files. So maybe you come in here and you select several of these EML files that are in the system. At this point, then it will display each of the element or each of the email files that you've got. And then you can click on the import templates button, and it will go through each one of them. It will try to find, to the best of its ability, a merge field that coincides with content that's in there, if it can. If not, at least it leaves the information in there. But it can go through and it can find like greetings and mailing names and some of the different fields and stuff and try to replace them. I'm still working on consistency. At least if it gets it in there, then you can go in there, highlight the area that you want to replace, and then just insert a merge field manually if you want. But once you do the import, then it will go through, and let me just, I think I left imported. Yeah. So I left these installed. If it knows what merge fields it can insert, it'll go through and do that insert. So it does take a little bit of time to go through that process. So I'm not going to go through that exactly, but this just gives you an easy way to go through and import your old emails that were maybe used multiple times throughout the year to different people through Gmail or Outlook or whatever. And if we import that into SAM as a template, then you can continue to use it as it is, but using merge fields instead. One of the big challenges is, especially if we imported a lot of emails and content and stuff from another source of some sort. You may have a bunch of emails that you just don't ever use, and you want to address them or get rid of them in some way. We've added a multi-select option here. So I can go in here and multi-select. Actually, let me clear out my filters. You can use the multi-select option and be able to just go in here and select multiples of these. And once they are selected, you can delete them if you want. I'm going to be adding some additional things. So instead of delete, maybe you just want to rewrite it. For Jose and his team, the thought was, well, we could select multiples of them and then have it translate all of them all in one shot. So instead of doing it one by one, we'll be able to do a translate. So there's going to be an update option coming soon. I just didn't get it fully tested, but once they are selected, then you can multi-process them in some form or fashion. It does adhere to the filters. So if you come in here and you say, give me just certain tags or certain types or whatever, the selection process will select just those that are currently being seen. So there is a select all button there. Once you select it, then you can also unselect all to remove that selection. So if you've got several of them that are all tagged with something, maybe you just don't ever use a certain old workflow template email anymore and you want to do some clearing out, you can clear them out very quickly and easily. Once you've got them selected, you click the delete. It will pop up and confirm the delete. Do you really want to do this? And if so, then it will remove it from the system. Once we add the update piece, then it'll go through and rewrite them. The other part of that rewrite, the thinking on that was, well, maybe you've imported some, but they're not in your voice. Maybe you want them rewritten in your voice, in your so they sound more like what you want it to be like you.